Thank you. Allow me a moment to recognize some of our honored guests. Passaic County freeholders Bruce James and Asad Akhtar. Patterson 6th Ward Councilman Andre Sayegh. Patterson Planning Board Commissioner and Democratic Leader Ala Abdelaziz. Mayor of the City of Prospect Park, Muhammad Khairallah. Clifton Councilwoman Lauren Murphy. Clifton Board of Education Commissioner Fahim Abed Rabbo. State Senator Republican candidate Dr. Maher Al-Saleh. Deputy Mayor of Patterson, Riyad Ammar. We thank you all for joining us this evening and for always being a reliable friend and a partner to our community. Once again, I welcome you all back. For us at PACC, it's been quite an eventful and groundbreaking summer. This summer, we officially launched and successfully executed our first PACC visit to the homeland under the Homeland Project. During a 10-day guided tour throughout the valleys and villages of Palestine, our selected participants explored the sights and landscapes of our beloved homeland. They visited major cities and remote villages, toured historical and cultural sites and museums, attended lectures at local universities, and met with grassroots organizers, swam in the Dead Sea, and tasted local foods. Their trip was highlighted with their visits to the Church of Nativity in the beloved city of Bethlehem, and Masjid al-Aqsa and the Dome of the Rock in the blessed city of Al-Quds al-Sharif. The group was accompanied by PACC's board members Ammo Nazih Abu Hadba and Zidan Farhat, as well as Homeland Committee member Ms. Noor Siam and PACC's Executive Director Mrs. Rania Mustafa. As a committee member on the Homeland Project, I would like to personally extend the gratitude of our entire committee to each and every one of you for taking the time and making the effort to accompany the group and the participants, and to transform the vision we had into a reality. To the participants, some of whom are with us this evening, we very much look forward to hearing from you and from seeing your experiences transformed into action for Palestine. Moreover, the center also successfully ran 2 PACC Summer Fun sessions with over 100 number of attendees. We've also hosted Palestinian artist Maysoon Bakir, who displayed some of her beautiful artwork on the walls of our center throughout the first week of July. We held a blood drive and ran our 3rd annual Hope Project, which educates young American youth about the history of Palestine through a social justice, cultural, and counter-Zionism classes. The center has also initialized its first Clifton High School PACC scholarship and would like to congratulate Yusuf Jabir for receiving the first annual scholarship. The scholarship award was presented to Yusuf for his high academic achievement and for demonstrating leadership qualities at Clifton High School. It is also imminent to highlight that Yusuf, like hundreds of Palestinian American students throughout this country and beyond, graduated as class valedictorian from Clifton High School. Congratulations, Yusuf. This evening, we bring you an exciting lineup of events. So we've hoped you've cleared your schedules, found a comfortable seat, silenced your phones, and cleared your minds, because I've been told you'll be here for a while. Tonight, we are honored to be hosting His Excellency, Dr. Hosam Zomlat, Palestine's new ambassador to Washington, D.C. I don't envy your position right now in D.C. Dr. Zomlat would like to speak and engage with us directly, so we ask you to listen attentively and to respectfully save your questions until the end. After Dr. Zomlat's meet and greet, we are hosting the Nakba tour, so stay tuned. This evening, we will also be launching the 4th edition of our center's magazine, Palestine, so please go through it. And right now, it is my honor to introduce one of the center's founding members, Ammo Bashar Hikmet, who will introduce the ambassador.
Thank you. Age has its. It is really my pleasure to stand here on behalf of the entire community. And they were listed before, but they forgot Ramallah. Well, I'm not mad at you, it's okay. It is really more important that we are here as Palestinians in a Palestinian center to welcome our new ambassador, Dr. Husam Zomlat, who is newly appointed Chief Representative of the Palestinian General Delegation of the United States. He also serves as a strategic advisor to the Palestinian President, Mahmoud Abbas. The ambassador's previous official roles include serving as ambassador at large for the Palestinian presidency and charge d'affaires of the Palestinian mission to the United Kingdom. He was recently elected to the Fatah Council and director of its Foreign Relations Commission. Previously, he was professor of public policy at Birzeit University and co-founded and chaired the Birzeit School of Government. He held teaching and research positions at Harvard University and the University of London. His professional experiences include working as an economist for the United Nations, economic researcher at London School of Economics, and the Palestinian Economic Policy Research Institute. He holds a PhD degree in economics from the University of London. And he authored a book, Building a Palestinian State Under Occupation. I actually met him as a human being at the Ramallah Convention with his wife and 2 children, and his son calls me Sido. So I'm part of the family now, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to your family.
Thank you, Doctor, and I insist to call you Doctor, even though you are an engineer. You told me that, but Doctor in Arabic means Hakim, and you are the Hakim of this community. Akhi Bassem Hashmi, the respect you have among your community and the respect you have back home, and I can bear witness to such respect that you have earned from all those you have encountered. It's an occasion that we salute you, all of us, today. And the salute goes for the many good faces here, the friends that I have encountered over the years. Without having, I will forget few, but I see Dr. Jamil Essamni, a very dear friend and somebody who has dedicated most of his life for the public and common service of his cause. Where is dear Mustafa? Please, a hand for and of course, Akhi Diab, and all that what you have been doing. We acknowledge the hard work, but the result of this very important center, we are here also to salute you and to thank you. You know, I just saw so many friends. I don't want to upset others, but I saw Nazih, and I saw Saleh, and Zidan, and Majdi, and Ghaith. All of them are here, and we have encountered many others. I am not here to tell you that much about the situation back home. I've just heard Reem, and she knows best, and she was there only for 40 days, but in these 40 days she has just depicted the situation the best way there is. You have raised your new generation in a way that does represent Palestine. I am really here to acknowledge your success as a community. Akhi Bassem asked me if I can talk a little bit about what do we do, what is our mission, and what does the embassy actually, what's the main functions of the embassy, and what do we need from you as a community. I'll try my best to talk about that, but the most significant side of the story has just struck me. A Canadian friend of mine told me, the only difference between you and I is that I can actually travel less than 2 hours and I'll be back home. Your home is away. I said, don't worry, I have Patterson to travel to Patterson. You've made this cultivated Palestine, not only in terms of your culture and our culture, the Knafi. I'm going to have Knafi before I leave today. But also how proud your community has become and how integrated, how delightful it is to see the list and hear the list of names of the Palestinian leaders who have been part and parcel of the institutions of this great state and this great city as well. You are an example, and I'm really here to celebrate your success, truly. I have many of my colleagues here can be witness how much I wanted this. Not only for the Knafi, and I miss the Knafi, but I miss being home, and your ability to actually be strong, integrated, contributing Americans, but also strong, contributing Palestinians is something that we bow for and we salute. And I did speak to the president just before I came here. He knows I'm going to be here. I spoke to his team just as they landed to refuel, and I told them to tell the president, he was next to them, that I may be a little bit late to the airport because I'm meeting our community in New Jersey and New York, and I heard them saying, you know what, stay with our community. So you have his greetings. He conveys how much respect we have for you. He will be arriving to New York for the General Assembly, as you all know, and there will be many meetings, including with President Trump. It will be a very busy few days, but hopefully you will be hearing about the speech and you will be hearing about some of these encounters. Very quickly, we may differ, Akhi Bassem. We may differ in the political sense. This is natural. This is healthy. Society has different in the ideas and the political orientations and even the cultural manifestations. The diversity of our society. We should celebrate the diversity of our society. But we should always agree that we speak in one voice. And we should always know that our unity is the one most important asset for us in front of the world. A world that is not always in line with only values and commitments, but with power and strength. And therefore, the first function of your embassy, of your office in Washington, is that it represents all Palestinians, be it from the north or from the south, be it leftist-oriented or rightist-oriented, be it Muslim or Christian, be it Madani or Fallah, be it جوا PLO ولا برا PLO. There is one representation of Palestine. And I'll tell you, all nations who did not succeed to do that vanished. Vanished. We may have failed in few arenas, but we have one voice. In Washington, we have one voice. In New York, we have one voice. Families have disputes, let's dispute, it's fine. So the first function, I as an ambassador, this office represents all of you. And then I am proud to represent you. Seriously proud to represent you. I mean, not only the success of the Palestinian community in New Jersey, New York, but I just came from Houston, and I learned that the Palestinian American community in Houston was the first to open its homes, its mosques, and its churches to all those who have lost their homes to the flood. I'm proud. But the first function is going to be adhered to and respected, I assure you. The second function is also important. It's an embassy. It's a diplomatic foreign government mission, regardless what they call us, still the issue of recognition. Our second most important mission is that of the official side of the story, meaning we represent officially country-to-country relationship, state-to-state relationship. We are the channel of communication, the official channel of communication. And by the way, this was not easy. For many years, they were not able to do it. Many of the bypassing was happening here in Washington. But I can tell you one thing, at least in the last 3-4 months since I became an ambassador, the official line of communication comes only via 1723 Wisconsin Avenue. That is the address of your embassy. We are the only channel of communication. We do not accept that America does not treat this place, but the only channel of communication. So when they arrange for the meeting in 3 days' time between President Trump and President Abbas, it's your embassy that does the arrangement. Not because I'm going to be here for a short period of time, but because this is how we should always respect our institutions. But we are not Switzerland. It's not just official communication. How significant and important it is to be the only channel for the institutional memory also, because you don't want anybody to intervene in your affair with agendas. But we have a cause, and therefore there is another major third function of our office, which is struggling. يعني احنا لابسين جرافات, but in the end احنا أصحاب قضية عادلة. Sorry if I switch in Arabic for 2 words. And we don't forget ourselves that we are advocates for justice and freedom. And we stand with our people in this very long journey. It is long, it is tiring, but we are getting somewhere. The wheels of history are not going the other side, it's going our side. Our side. You know, if you asked in the 40s, when we lost 2/3 of our nation and 2/3 of our land in one go, the expectation would have been that we did have received a hit by a train, by a hurricane, Irma, or, what was the other one, Harvey, and it was very difficult for the society to stand up again. No, we did stand up again. And guess what? Today, there are in Palestine 6.2 million Palestinians, as opposed to even less, without the return of one refugee, by the way, just because your society was able to withstand. What do we do in the advocacy part of the story? There are 2 main levels, the political level and the civil level. What do I mean by the political level? It's primarily the political parties and the political institutions. What's the manifestation of the political institutions in the US? It's the Congress. It's the Congress. And for the last couple of months, ever since I arrived, I have been visiting the Congress. I have met many senators, representatives, many. All nice, forming personal relationships. But we have a very long way to go in the Congress, my friends. And I'll come to it in a bit. But the other part of our advocacy and struggle is the civil side of the story. What do I mean by the civil side of the story? Those are the minorities. They are not any more minorities, like the African Americans, Hispanics, the church, the Jewish communities. Many changes happening among the Jewish communities. The array of think tanks and policy institutions, the media, and now we have the social media. I mean, by the civil side of the story is our ability to engage in the long term, to invest in the future. And I'm finding out day by day that we have so many opportunities. Only a few days ago, I went to a university in Pennsylvania by the name of Swarthmore, if you heard about it. Very prestigious, very well known. I addressed the students of Swarthmore, and I was really struck positively by how the new American generation is knowledgeable and bold, brave. Thanks to this, by the way, thanks to this, seriously, thanks to this explosion of information, thanks to the ability of every individual to be CNN and Fox and New York Times. It's no longer restrictive to the story. And without going into the details of things, I believe in the saying, give time to time. Maybe 30 years ago, it was not right for us. But now, it's right for us. This is our moment in America. And everywhere I go, I see opportunities as much as I see the challenges. For the following reasons. The first reason is what I just mentioned. We now have tools upon us that will we teach our children how to hate. That's all what I hear about. I have not heard in the US that the keys of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, Kenis al-Qiyamah, are held with the Muslim family for hundreds of years because Christians and Muslims trust each other and live together for millennia. I have not heard that the Church of Nativity in Bethlehem is respected, protected, and worshipped by Muslims alike like Christians. The beauty of our society, the diversity, and the tolerance. We are a model. We are the model in the entire region of diversity and tolerance and acceptance. So we have got to tell our story. And we have got to tell our story standing tall and united. And the third reason, perhaps, why I think it's right. So the first, we have new tools, new means. The second, we are also changing our discourse and narrative, keeping the main message, but changing. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. But thirdly, it's our strategic partner. The one you think the embassy and the ambassador can invade the Congress or counter attempts of the Congress? The third reason why I believe things are right is you. And I mean it. I mean it. Things have come of age. You said you age, but age comes or brings also maturity and changes. Basil, you have spent your time here making sure that you would stand and sustain and triumph and be successful professionally. And you succeeded. So all of your generation. But your kids now are not just concerned of individual, private success, but your kids are also much more about the collective side of the story. I see them, I meet them everywhere. They are strong Americans and strong Palestinians. They don't hide away, they don't shy away. Heck, we just had Dream and the MC, I forgot her name. You see the personalities and the ability. I think we are right. We are absolutely right. We need the following to really help each other. Help each other. Number one, I am so proud and delighted that we have Markaz al-Jali Palestinian American, the Palestinian American Community Center. What an achievement. What an achievement. But I want to swap. Can I bring the embassy here and you go to Washington? What an achievement. Really, do not underestimate the power of such a community being able to collectively bring such a premise and such a space, common space together. But for us to be able to succeed together, we need unity in this country. Unity, I guess. It's good that I was so touched that دردبوان ومخماس ومين كمان وترمس عليا بحبهم هدول كثير وانا عشت سنين يعني اهلي بس كل هدول لازم يجوا بالمعنى السياسي. If you really want to do the political sphere, the political war, the war of words, we have to find a way to speak in one voice. One voice. If I want to show my muscles in the Congress, I need one individual. It doesn't matter about him, but I can say he represents one of every 20 Palestinians. Do you know that one of every 20 Palestinians worldwide is American? Is American. I needed that. When I arrived, I was looking for that figure. Not as a person, but I wanted to go and show off. You know, show off. So, but, you know, we have a strong community all over. I don't have that person. And we don't have that institution. I think we should work for it, all of us, even if it takes time. But we must learn from our experiences. Unity is key. Unity does not mean being identical. Unity does not mean we have to agree with each other. Unity means one thing, that we agree how to disagree. That's it. That's it. And we respect our disagreement. We can disagree, we can. But when it comes to the others, we speak in one voice. When it comes to the lobbies, I spend 3 months in the Congress alone. Alone. Up against what? Up against who? Shall I list you the names of organizations? This brings me to the second thing we need after unity. A new invention called organizations. There is no other formula. There is no other formula but organizations. And you've done it. You've done it wonderfully. Everywhere I go. But now we might want to bring our organization one step up to focus on the collective political interest of all Palestinians in America. And thirdly, something that is crucial in my opinion, strategizing, because we cannot do everything. We don't have the same resources others have. We don't have the hundreds of millions. We don't. It's strategizing, and we're going to your home in Miami to strategize. Strategizing is what will enable us to use our resources in the most effective way possible. And I'm not telling you all this as a way of being in the theoretical arena. I'm telling all this because I want you to be prepared for the journey. This is our intention. Our intention is to help each other. Because, okay, I am proud to represent all of you. And I assure you, it will remain to be your united voice. But I need your help. We cannot do it on our own. The wind coming our way is huge. In the Congress over the last 3-4 months, the whole discussion was we should cut our assistance to the families of our prisoners and those who lose their lives. We will not cut a penny from those families. Not a penny. Not a penny. I told this to every senator, including the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee. I said this to the White House and to the State Department, and I know I'm lying. Our commitment to our people comes before anything else. Keep your money. But do you know that we are paying a heavy price and there is a bill against us because we are doing the wrong thing? No, we're not doing the wrong thing. By supporting the families of the victims of the occupation, we are not doing the wrong thing. We are doing the right thing. So why are we being penalized? Because there are organizations that want us to be penalized. There are people who want us to be framed all the time. Being in the reaction as opposed to being proactive. Being branded. It's about time, my dear people. It's about time that we stand together and do something about it. And I might have gone a bit Palestine. It's been 4 months almost, and it feels for me a long time because it's intense, it's immense, the task and the mission, and how vast and diverse this country is. But I have to say from my heart that this is the biggest honor I have received in my life, to represent Palestine and represent you particularly, that segment of Palestine. Everywhere I go, I see opportunities. I see cracks in the wall. I see your new kids. One of them just came to Washington by the name of Ammar Kampa. And he's running for Congress. He's from California. And he received the full support of the community. Many of our kids now, and I've just heard the list of our community here, who is part of the municipality, part of the mayorship. We have a deputy mayor here. And we respect you, sir, for serving this country and serving your community. Thank you very much. I just see that the wheels of history are definitely going in our way, but they will not go on our way on their own. They need a bit of help, and a bit of determination, a bit of energy, a bit of push. We have one promise for you. We have all the intention to be one of you, to extend our hands and our hearts, and to eat knafi afterwards. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. At this moment, we'd like to have some interaction with you, so if you wouldn't mind giving us some more of your time. I'd like to take questions at this time. So, but before we take questions, maybe if I may, can I ask a question of my own? So when I introduced you, I said I don't envy your position in Washington, D.C. I don't think anybody envies your position in Washington, D.C. during this administration, who has proven to be an opponent to our people in Palestine, and an opponent to human rights, and an opponent to so many other minorities throughout this country and around the world. And so, while I respect your optimism, I'm just wondering, and I'm curious, as I'm sure many here are as well, how do you keep yourself going, knowing who you're up against? I mean, the Trump administration is not an easy administration to handle. So how do you keep yourself going when you wake up in the morning and you know Trump is the guy sitting in the White House, not somebody else? So if you may just address that, because we haven't really touched on that yet. Thank you.
Well, regardless of our agreement or disagreement about President Trump, I had the privilege of meeting the man a couple of times, and I'll be seeing him in 3 days' time with President Abbas. Regardless of all that, my optimism has nothing to do with the situation here. My optimism has to do with my grandmother. Seriously. And with a nation that was able to withstand what was meant to be almost total annihilation. The plan in the 20s and the 30s was we will be gone, totally gone. But we are a hell of a society in terms of our culture, civilization, tolerance, roots, values, principles, traditions. You know how much accumulation of traditions we have. And my source of optimism that our collective investment in the human side of the story like yours has enabled us as a nation to withstand, to sustain sheer pressure. We were not meant to be. And look at us. Look at the map of Palestine. Imagine the map of Palestine. Look from the very north of Palestine, historic Palestine, to the very south. Will you find one spot that doesn't have Palestinians in it? No, you won't. From the very north, Fasuta, all the way to Rafah. Palestinians are all over. Okay, we have political issues. We are under political pressure. We have economic issues. We have security issues. We are under attack all the time. But we have got no existential issues. We are in our land. And it's much easier for us to live in our land. It doesn't take much. It comes effortless, without efforts. It takes much more efforts by people who don't belong to the land. You know how much it costs to sustain one settler in the West Bank with the barbed wires and the infrastructure and the protection? Our kids walk barefooted in the streets because we belong to the land. We are part of the land, and the land is ours. And my optimism is not about a president comes or a president goes. The optimism is about this collective strength of the Palestinians. And we have gone through so much. But we have won the political argument. What's your name? Name me one country on the face of earth that would challenge your political aspirations and statehood. You've just seen a few months ago when we went to the UN Security Council. Even America had to abstain, which means they voted with us. We have won the legal argument. Now they are scared if we go to the ICC because they know the results. We have won the moral argument. Go anywhere in the world about the morality of the situation. The only thing we have been losing is the material side of the story. What do I mean by the material? Their ability materially to enforce by military, economics, things on the ground. Now, I don't think materialism can live on its own for a long period of time. Ask so many other empires and occupations, and Rome, go back to history. Without moral cover, without political legitimacy, without legal backing, you are an outlaw. Sire. This is my social optimism. We have just got as Palestinians to believe in ourselves, in our society, in the Palestinian Christian in July during the Jerusalem uprising, who prayed Friday prayer with his Muslim brothers and sisters. We have to believe in ourselves. When I saw that picture, I just knew that البيت رب وشعبه يحب. You know, and your question is very relevant. It's at the right time. Because ever since I like to watch it, I hear about outside in. Have you heard about this outside in? Outside in is the dream of the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. He is resolving the Palestinian issue. He can actually normalize relations with the Arab world without paying the price of quitting occupation of Arab land. And taking force this whole argument. Policy papers, discussions, media, that actually now the only way is that we make peace first with the Arab world, i.e., forget about Palestinians. Number one, let me assure you, and I say it now live, it ain't gonna happen, it will not happen. There is no way Israel will normalize its existence without making peace with the Palestinians first. Number two, the Arab brothers and sisters are our biggest support. They are our natural depth, not only in the financial, economic sense as it used to be, but in the cultural, in the civilization, in the religious, in the history, in the language, in the common destiny. We are Arabs. I am an Arab. I am. And the support of your Arab brothers and sisters will never, ever go away. Trust me. Maybe we may have some issues, zigzagging changes with regimes here and there, but the depth of the support of the Arab people to the Palestinian cause is uncontested and unwavering. But here's the deal. How they are affected? Because see, when you are mobilized, activated, inspired, organized, and united, they are all behind you, historically. Now, I have to say, in America, over the last few years, we haven't given them that. And the moment we give them that, they will be behind you. I saw that in Houston a few days ago. I saw in the news that your colleagues in Dallas, the Palestinians, did an event for the Arabs during the Eid. 7,000 turned up. Egyptians, Tunisians. The Palestinians were the pillars, the magnets of the community. They come. When you organize, They come. They are part of you. You are part of them. But who's responsible? It's us.
Assalamu alaikum. The question that I have is that each one of us, in terms of individuals or organizations that, of course, would love to serve Palestine, the ultimate goal here is that the question that I would like to hear, or the answer that I would like to hear from you, please, is that how would you bring these individuals, these, I would say, the different fragmentations of the different organizations that they all gear toward the ultimate goal, and that is being together regardless of our religious, political views, and what have you. Thank you.
Other questions? There's one.
I'm actually just hanging out with family and eating connected, hopefully later. So my question to you is, so during all my time as a senior advisor within the Pentagon, I have not seen Palestine on my radar or any of my boss's radars at all, not once. And it got me thinking, as you spoke, do you have any plans for future outreach with, let's say, maybe it's more appropriate with the State Department or USAID or other federal agencies? I just thought about the fact that, you know, I've seen all the manner of countries engage with the Pentagon, and my friends at the State Department, all the other folks that left, you know, 20 January with the Obama folks. I see other Arab countries actually engage with these federal agencies, so I'm wondering what future outreach you might have, or, you know, any ways to liaise with these folks.
But you are an American Palestinian?
Yes, partially.
We don't accept partially. If you have, will be meeting the highest over the last few weeks. White House, I left the White House very late in the evening. The people now, we also expect reciprocity and respect. Yesterday, I was visited by the highest level of the State Department vis-a-vis the Middle East. You have no muscle to show, and they will be muscle. Oh, sorry. That was your question. How do you do this? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. It's not a secret. I'm a Fatah person. Okay. Just to start by declaring Fatah for me is not a political party. Fatah for me is, Palestinian national movement. It's just being romantic with your sense of nation. But having declared my partisan, I think we should leave Fatah and Hamas back home. We should leave Jabhat Sha'biyya al-Demokratiyya back home. We should leave Tunisaiya and in Ramallah, not export the issues here. And we should be united on the one thing that unites all of us. The one thing that unites all of us. This. So we do not focus on what unites us وبنروح على مشاكلنا هذا تخانق مع هذا تطاوش مع هذا. No, I think we are capable to do that. And when I said things are right, because I think things are right now in every locality where there are Palestinians, they have very strong institutions. Well, New Jersey is very distinct, I have to say. But also I visited the Palestinian Community Center in Houston. Huge, it's like an acre of land. Did you see it? Just new. You saw it? Huge. So your community is doing the same everywhere. So if we can do this at the city level and the state level, I think you are ready to do it at the national level.
اهلا وسهلا بالسفير الجديد. راح سفير واجا سفير جديد. يا ترى ايش مع السفير الجديد؟ ايش عندك في تغيير هالوضع اللي كان اول؟ يعني السياسه الاولانيه كانت مع السفير الاولاني اكيد انها فاشله. فيا ترى انت ايش جاي يعني ايش عندك جديد؟ ايش عندك جديد؟ يا ريت يكون الجواب بالعربي. كمان بالعربي.
Assalamu alaikum. The question I have is, I appreciate you advocating, meeting with congressional people, senators. What is your office doing? Which congressional districts are you targeting that cares about the Palestinian cause? And how can we help lobby our congresspeople? If you're meeting with some of our representatives, how are we getting that message from your office to our local communities so we could also, because we're the constituents. So do you have a plan of which congressional districts and which congresspeople you're targeting and how we're going to get the information back to the communities that you're trying to target?
That's it. اسمك الأول أخي بالعربي اسمك هاشم أخي هاشم. يعني أولا أنا شخصيا خليني أقول لك لا أوافق على وصفك إنه زميلي السابق فاشل وبدناش نكون صعبين على بعض. معلش أنا بصراحة إحنا شعب ممتاز ويمكن مش أعظم شعب على وجه الأرض بس ما في شعب أعظم منه بس أحيانا بنكون حادين مع بعض. كله بيخدم وكله بيحاول في بعض بنجح لهون في بعض بنجح لهناك. فخلينا نكون بدرجة من احترام أنفسنا الشديد. أرجوك. أخي معا كان ممكن يكون موظف بنك دولي، كان ممكن يكون عنده شهادات عليا في كل مكان، اختار إنه يخدم بلده، بغض النظر بنقول له يعطيك العافية، بغض النظر. وبتمنى لك تقول لي يعطيك العافية حتى لو خلصت الشغل، لأني محاول، أنا كنت أستاذ في هارفارد تبع اخترت إني أسيب حياتي المهنية وأخدم هالبلد، والله إذا أصبت يعطيني العافيتين، إذا ما أصبتش يعطيني عافية واحدة، لأني على الأقل قررت أخدم. هذا أولا. ثانيا أنا أتمنى شيء واحد فقط. I will switch to English so our colleagues will understand. No one person can manage to do a task like America. One man show doesn't work. I need you, Raj. And this will link me to the question of the gentleman there. There are laws in this country. There are laws, قوانين. An embassy can never intervene in what you just said. يتدخلوا in the elections and the constituencies. We are a foreign government. We sign a commitment. We are on the far. But guess who does that? It's you who do that. I get a statement out as I did 2 months ago and بقول الحقونا. And I did issue that statement. But guess what? When the Israeli embassy, when they were cutting the funds because we pay the president's families. When the Israeli ambassador issued such a statement, when he tells that he supports the Taylor Force Act, which is the act against us because we pay, how many organizations do exactly what you described in the constituencies? Hundreds. Without him telling them, because he can't directly. This is what I'm missing. This is what I need. I need Azoti, Ahli, to fight for something that we all agree on. It's not illegal, it's right and my right. And I'll be even more frank. I'll be more frank. I was told, I met so many senators,